Welcome back to the association. We're taking you up the tip-off of the Western Conference Finals between the Spurs and OKC over on Peacock and NBC. But we're talking Eastern Conference Finals as well. Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers secured their spot in the Eastern Conference Finals after beating the Pistons and dominated them. Cleveland's first trip back to the conference finals since 2018. I mean, they went into Detroit and just set the tone from the very beginning. What do you think about that performance from Cleveland?
Well, I mean, more than anything, I think it says what it says about Donovan Mitchell. This is a guy I played with, and I know how bad he wants it, and this means a lot to him. It's always up until now. It's like, can you get there? Can you get to the Eastern Conference Finals or Western Conference Finals before?
Yep.
And now that he's there, I just want to see how he responds from it. But it was a dominant performance. He had those. We were all kind of waiting for that Donovan Mitchell kind of game. He gave it to us, and it turned into a win. He's getting better as a player. I think the addition of James Harden just allows him to just grow as a player. So, I'm just happy to see that he's gotten past there. But what it means for Detroit, I mean, they had a great season.
Yeah.
I think they still have some things to address. But I think the better team won.
All right, let's put a postscript on the season for Detroit. They get Game 7 at home. That's what you work for, to get Game 7 at home, and then they just lay an egg from start to finish.
Yeah, it was a disappointing Game 7, but I seen what Coach Bickerstaff said. The season wasn't disappointing, though.
No.
Like, it wasn't a letdown. I think they're ahead of schedule.
Yes.
They're a really young, talented team that this is what I was afraid of in the season of them not having enough offensively to help out Cade Cunningham. And it showed in Game 7.
Yep.
He didn't have a great game. It seemed like, he was tired and nobody helped, on the offensive end. And then to piggyback on what Rudy said about Cleveland, like they hit him in the face first.
Yeah.
And it started with Donovan Mitchell. And you got to give a big shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers of winning a Game 7, not only winning a Game 7, but doing it on the road.
Yeah.
In that environment says a lot about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
They'd struggled on the road earlier in the postseason, but they get it done in Detroit. Sam Merrill had a great game from three-point range, and the bigs, Allen and Mobley, did their thing as well. So now they take that into this series with the Knicks, and the Knicks have been playing just lights-out basketball. After they went down against Atlanta, they just put their foot on the gas, and they've never looked back. So Knicks in the conference finals for the second straight year. Cavaliers there for the first time since 2018 when they had LeBron James. Here's a look at the head-to-head matchup this season. The Knicks won on opening night. They also won on Christmas at home against the Cavaliers. Cavaliers struck back after the All-Star break. After they got James Harden, they had 6 players in double figures in their win, but pretty evenly matched across the board, though the Knicks get the 2 wins. Now, let's start with the news from that series on the injury front. OG Anunoby back for New York. He had missed a couple of games with a hamstring injury as well. What does that do for New York, having him in the lineup?
That just gives them so much versatility on the defensive end. OG is a great defender, and he's also a shot maker. Another guy that can play defense and hit shots when needs be. He's pivotal for them. Honestly, if he's not playing and if they're not at full strength, I don't see them having as easier as a road without him. So they're going to need OG to come up big in these playoffs, in these Eastern Conference Finals, for them to even have a chance.
Yeah, Anunoby averaging 21 points, 8 rebounds, shooting 67% and 54% from 3. But again, he missed the last 2 games of that series, and they pretty much had a week off. Yeah. So we'll see if he can get back into rhythm very quickly the way he was before. But it starts with Jalen Brunson, IT, for the Knicks. Led them to 7 straight wins in their last 7 playoff games. If you're Cleveland, how do you guard him?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough because with the Cleveland, with guard-wise, they don't have anybody to guard him. So I think they're going to have to do it collectively. They're going to have to show bodies. They're going to have to make it physical for him and make it as tough as possible for him. But the most dynamic thing about the Knicks right now is they're really playing through Cat. And it's making Jalen Brunson even more dynamic in terms of not having to be the point guard. He can kind of move to the 2 guard and have a scorer's mentality to where he's aggressive down the court every time. And I think it's opening up the court for the Knicks having Cat initiate the offense and make plays. And it's something they haven't shown all year long. When they made this adjustment in the first round against the Atlanta Hawks, they've been rolling ever since, and I think they're going to roll with that, you know, till the wheels fall off, because it's making them a much more dynamic team than they were the first 2 games against Atlanta when they just gave it to Jalen Brunson to try to create, and that was tough to get wins doing that.
Cat can shoot it from distance. He can put it on the floor, and he's a great passer as a big man. So if you're Cleveland, you got Evan Mobley, who can move as a big. You got Jared Allen as well. So how do you defend Cat, knowing that he's the engine right now?
Well, I think that's why you have to kind of give it up to Cat a little bit, because, you know, this is a guy that we thought was underappreciated during the season, and to see him get a chance to have the ball and not force plays, but, you know, not force plays for himself, but yet spread the wealth. You know, this is what the team is missing. Everybody's kind of contributing, and he's getting, you know, triple doubles and playing well, and it's becoming easier for him because of that. So how do you guard it? I don't know. I think at the end of the day, they have the kind of versatility defensively where they can guard him man up, but it's really what he contributes as far as distributing. He gets everybody involved, and this is something that Brunson, I wouldn't say, is as good at. So with Cat being able to distribute the ball and everybody scoring and all that stuff, this is why you see those leads get higher and higher. They'll be able to play the way they are and free as they are, because, you know, now Brunson is just a finisher for them. Like, you put him in there at the end of the game, and he finishes games better than, you know, a lot of people in this league. You know, he's one of those guys that was up there with SGA as far as the, you know, the clutch player of the year. So they really locked into their identity. This is something we thought they could do early, but they've done it now, and this is perfect timing. Like, they're trying to play for a championship.
Before I get your picks, I wanted to hit on this very quickly. How do you protect them defensively, though, against Harden or Mitchell? We saw Harden have a 30-point game in the series against Detroit. We saw Donovan Mitchell have a 39-point half. Yeah. So how do you protect Brunson in terms of guarding those two guys?
Well, I mean, that's why you need OG Anunoby. You have, with him on the court, with Cat playing the 5, you now have 3 people that can guard those 2 guys. So that's how important OG is to this team. You know, James Harden is a guy that can do a lot of different things, kind of like Cat. He can hurt you with scoring. He also can hurt you with distributing. And having 3 other defenders out there that you can move around and be on multiple people, it makes it tough for him.
All right. We've broken it down. Now let's make a pick. IT, you go first this time. Who do you like? How many games?
I got the Cavs in 6.
Huh? Okay. So, well,
and the Knicks are rolling.
And the Knicks are rolling. Okay.
I just got the Cavs.
That's saying something.
The Cavs.
Rudy?
I'm going to go Knicks in 7. My people in New York will be mad at me if I did. You know what I mean? Got roots out there. So, Stan and Isaiah, we are back. It's now time to look back at the best dunks for the postseason this far. In the latest edition of the most electrifying segment in sports entertainment, that's Rudy's Rim Rockers. Right. First up is Dylan Harper. Gets past Scoop, rises above the Time Lord for the Rim Rocker. Ooh, Time Lord.
Big guard.
That's not my nickname. That's, you know, that's what they gave me. But look, with the left, look, baseline with the left, switch it over. Dylan Harper is a very, very talented young man. Can't wait to see what he does in these Western Conference Finals.
Sean Elliott told me he's the best finisher outside of Kyrie Irving already.
I don't know about that. But next up is Julius
As a guard.
Wemby. Check this out, man. Look. You have any tea and crumpets? I think that's London. That's England, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it's closer than LA. That's where we're at right now. But Julius Randle over top of Wemby.
Anytime you could get
hit him with the croissant.
With the croissant, maybe.
There you go.
Maybe we should do that. Next, Jonathan Kuminga catches an oop over Mitchell Robinson. Look at this, man. To have this much athleticism to almost hit your shoulder on the rim at this point, I might be hyping it. I hyped it a little bit. Maybe it's hit. But still, this is pretty impressive. Very impressive, actually.
And everybody in the Bay is like, where was that?
Where was that? On the bench.
He was on the bench.
So, and number 1, I think we're all waiting for this.
Oh, my goodness.
Jamal Cain over Jalen.
Oh,
come on, man.
Goodness. Any fit.
I think I'll be nice to Jalen Duren. But look, this was a bad dunk. I'll be nice, man.
He didn't have a great postseason, but that was probably the worst part of it.
Okay, well, you got it. There you go. Shout out to Jalen Duren, man. And shout out to Jamal Cain for rising up above him. But look, that was fun, guys. The latest edition of Rim Rocker. Stay tuned to Association. If you smell... I got to come up with a nickname. I'm not the Rock. Can't do that.
All right, work in progress.
Yeah, we're working on it.
All right.